Hey everybody, who is ready to wrap up the social media funnel series? I'm just gonna give it a second to see who logs on. You guys tell me hi as you're logging on. I'm just going to get set up right here with my notes. So you guys had some homework last night or yesterday. I hope that you went out and found your groups. Where your target market is, your ideal shark, your perfect ideal shark is hanging out online. And you joined those groups, right? And you found some good ones. Maybe you found a bunch of them and you had to go through and weed some of the ones out. Remember, we talked about being spammy. If it's a spammy group, get out of it. It's not going to help you anyway. So today we're going to move on. You guys say hi to me as you're logging in. Okay, so quick recap of the entire week. If you're just now catching this, if you're new to the group, because we've added so many people to the group this week, on Monday we talked about like the 30,000 foot overview, which is really important. Like we talked about why we're doing this. Hello, thanks for joining live. I can't see who you are. Tell me who you are, because remember, this stupid software won't let me see who it is. So tell me your name. Who's here with me? Okay, so yeah, Monday we talked about like why we're doing this, like why are we using social media, how to get your mindset wrapped around that is actually going to be a tool for us to grow our business, and then how we're going to use it very intentionally to grow our audience, nurture our audience, and then make offers and monetize, right? So we're funneling people in, and we kind of talked about the overall strategy. We gave some examples on where you can funnel people. The whole idea is to move these people along and let them know what the next step is, whatever that looks like for your business. You guys say hi as you're logging in. So on Tuesday, we talked about, specifically we talked about Facebook, but really in reality, it was just like cleaning up your profile of whatever platform you're going to use. So we went through Facebook, talked about the different aspects of your Facebook profile, how to optimize them so that people come in, they immediately get interested, they want to start taking the next step, or maybe they're going to lurk and watch you for a while, but they've got that next step right there for them whenever they're ready, right? Hey, Patrick. Hi, Amy. Glad you guys could join me live. Thanks for saying hi. Let me know, you guys, if this has been helpful this week and if you've been starting to see some progress. Okay, yesterday we talked about what we need to be doing each day to grow our audience, to nurture that audience, and to start making offers. Basically, we talked about how to fill our funnel and keep that machine running so that our business is making profits every single day, okay? And it is an everyday kind of thing. Social media, it's like you can't stop once you get it going, right? That's going to be, if that's your source of leads, that's what you need to keep that machine cranking. And today we're going to talk about some of the ninja tricks that I've discovered, that I've learned in the past couple of weeks on keeping track of your leads that are coming through social media, how to get some crazy engagement on the Facebook, having the Facebook algorithms work for you, and then also some kind of ninja tricks that I've learned on time management, because it's so easy to get sucked into Facebook. And when we're doing this, everything we do, we want to be really intentional. So we don't want to get lost like looking at ads and get like the what do they call it, the squirrel syndrome, where you bright shiny object, whatever, like you're scrolling Facebook, you guys know, you're scrolling Facebook and you see something interesting and all of a sudden you're off and you're doing something else, right? So we want to really be intentional with our time so that we can jump on, do our thing, jump back off, get back to whatever we're doing, living life or working or whatever, and really make this work for us, okay? So I want to start with, you guys let me know your questions too along the way from today and also for the rest of the week. For you guys that have been sending me your profiles, it's been really fun going and looking at your profiles and giving you some feedback based on what I've been learning. So if you want that, please go ahead and let me know. Send me a PM or whatever. Drop your link and I'll take a look. Okay, so what and I used to be so disorganized. I mean, I'm still working to get better at it. But what I've really been trying to embrace and learning to embrace is that I have to start tracking everything. And so when I started this learning, I was going to learn about how to use social media as a funnel. that was something that I needed to do because I needed to see what was working and what wasn't working. If you don't track, what you don't track, you can't improve on. So, you know, before when I would kind of dabble in social media and then I'd be like, oh, this isn't working. And I had no idea what it was, what wasn't working. Like, so if someone is going to come to me now that I kind of know this, how this works, and they tell me that their social media funnel isn't working, you know, you don't know that unless you've got some numbers. So how many people are you growing by? How many people are you talking to every day? How many people are you following up with? How often are you posting? How are you keeping the engagement, right? So if you look at data, you're going to see where your gaps are. So, because a lot of times we think it's not working, and then when we look at it, we're like, oh, well, you know, I said I was going to grow by 30 per day, and I've only been doing 5 per day. Okay, so we're not filling our funnel. That makes sense. You guys say hi as you're logging in. Okay, so another reason, a couple of weeks ago, this woman, she was telling me this story, and she was so upset about it. She had this lead in her network marketing business, and I guess she had talked to her a couple of times, and she had presented the business side, and this woman was super interested in it. She's like, well, you know, I've got some things going on the next couple of months, you know, definitely check back in with me, and I can't do it right now, but I definitely want to do this. And apparently this woman, or this lady, this lead, was a real influential person in the community, and she had this big following already online. And the woman who was telling me the story, you know, she said, I was super excited because this woman had the potential to, you know, blow up her business, which then would mean blow up my business. Anyways, hello, thanks for joining. So anyways, she hadn't followed up. And so a few months went by. I think, you know, she got busy, life got in the way or whatever. And a few months, I don't know how long, maybe 5-6 months went by. And she was on Facebook, and she saw that the lead that she had had joined the company, the same company, but had joined with somebody else and was like already hitting some ranks. And it all came down to, like, she hadn't followed up, and she let that hot lead that was going to, you know, potentially blow up her business, like, just slip through the cracks. So I've been there too. Like, I mean, I when I wasn't tracking my leads, you know, I saw people, you know, especially I just saw someone the other day who was following me and was interested in how I was setting up funnels, really interested in Clickfunnels, and had actually sent me an email, and somehow the email got lost or whatever, and that person went out and signed up, just went to Clickfunnels website and signed up, and I didn't get the affiliate commission, and it was a huge bummer because it was just because I didn't follow up. So following up is key in you know, all businesses. It doesn't matter what kind of business you're in, because you remember the triangle that I showed you on Monday, the funnel, that no matter who your audience is, only 3% are going to be ready to purchase from you right now, and 67% are going to be ready at some point in the future. So if you remember nothing else from this entire week, from anything that I say, if you remember nothing else, remember that. The fortune's in the follow-up, because the 67% are going to make a much bigger difference in your business than the 3%, okay? That's why we need funnels, and a huge piece of a funnel is actually the follow-up piece, okay? So if you've got an automated funnel that's running on autopilot, you're driving ads to it, you know, you can set up some of the follow-up to happen on autopilot, but when you're funneling people through social media, like, the follow-up's on you. Like, it really has to be more, a little bit more manual. So I want to show you guys a simple way to keep track of your leads. Like, you really don't need much. The easier and simple that you can make this, the better, in my opinion. So you just need a list so that you can, you don't let those hot leads slip through your fingers. Because remember what I talked about yesterday. How do you track your leads? Do you have a training on that already? Maybe a future live session? Yeah, so I'm actually going to show you right now, how I track them, or how I'm doing it now. And I'm going to show you here in just a second. And I'm going to give you the link, actually, if you want to copy it. But, like, seriously, it's, let me just try to pull it up right now. Okay. Yeah, it's okay. I was gonna get to that. So I just use a Google Sheet, okay? So let me just pull it up here so I can show you. Super, super simple. There we go. Can you guys see that? So this is a Google Sheet, and if you want this Google Sheet, then you can, I'll drop a link to it, and you can just take it and use it, modify it, whatever. It's just really simple. And what it is, and this is, I would have, if you're using multiple social medias, I would have a separate one for each platform so that you know where you found that contact, so that you don't say, oh yeah, I remember I met you on Facebook, and they're like, no, you didn't. We met on LinkedIn. So all I do here, and I'm going to send this to you, is name, the date I spoke with them, and when I plan to follow up. That part is key, okay? And when I talked about rapid growth, and I said if you want rapid growth in your business, you need to be talking to 30 people plus a day. When you start talking to 30 people a day, like, it's totally doable, and I'm going to show you some tricks to make it a lot more manageable. But if you're relying on your memory, it is going to fail you. It is going to fail you. So that's why this is so important. So name, the day I spoke to him, follow up, when I plan to follow up, and then I give a score. And this is, I know I've been saying this a lot this week. Sometimes what I say sounds kind of brutal, like scoring people, but here's the deal. This is a tool for your business, and there's going to be so many times that you are going to be limited on time, or you want to know where to prioritize. So if someone is, I rate them like on a 1 to 10 based on how I think how likely I think they're going to move through the funnel, right? Because 30% of the people that you talk to are never going to move through the funnel, and that's fine, but we don't want to waste our time with them. So I'll just kind of give like a quick score here, and then jot down a few notes. And the notes are important because you want to pick up the conversation where you left off. And if you don't have it organized here, you're going to have to read back through all your messages. You have to go find that message, and it just makes it a nightmare. So I just write a few little notes there. So this is, and then I have a separate tab here. This says added me. And the reason that I have this is because people who add me as a friend versus people that I reach out to, I put them a little bit ahead of the list because they reached out to me. They took the first step, which means that they kind of raised their hand a little bit and said, I'm interested in what you are offering, right? So if I'm limited on time, and if if I need to prioritize who I'm going to follow up with, I'm going to come to this sheet first because they're probably a little bit hotter leads. And if you have multiple things that you're doing, like if you're network marketing, if you're selling the product or the business, you definitely want to make a note of which they're a lead for. For me, I have my network marketing business. Those are certain leads. I have my Clickfunnels leads. I have people who I'm funneling towards buying a course of mine or funneling towards hiring me as their coach. So I definitely want to keep track because depending on what my goals are for the month, I need to go find those leads so I can follow up with them. Does that make sense? So if you guys want this spreadsheet, it's super simple. I mean, you could make it yourself, but if you want this, I'll go ahead and give it to you. So that's what, let me see my notes and see if there's anything else. Okay. All right, so I have this Google Sheet. Okay, I already showed you that. All right, so I know a lot of you guys are like, well, I talk to people all day. I'm not always at my computer. How am I going to do this? How am I going to keep this organized? So here's what I do, and I have to be methodical about this because otherwise it just gets out of control really quickly, and I can't catch up. Like if I let it get behind, I can't catch up, and I just have to like dump all those people and start over. So I batch my activities, everything that I do. So when it's time for me to come in and actually, here, I can get rid of this for now. Hold on. There we go. When it's time for me to start messaging people or reach out to people, I sit down at my desk and that's what I'm going to work on. So I just pull up that Google Sheet, right? And I actually use it as I'm messaging people. And then when I'm done messaging, you know, for however long I'm going to work on that, I don't open up my messenger again until I'm ready to do it again. And that, I know it can be super tempting to, like, every time you see a message pop up on your phone, to go read it. But if I read a message, if it's not, unopened, and I'm not in front of my spreadsheet, it's probably not going to get recorded and I'll lose track of that. Does that make sense? So if you can, definitely, I mean, even if you have to carry a notebook with you, like if you're doing a lot of this on your phone or whatever, just carry a notebook so you can make some notes as you go, so that you're not losing track of these people. Catching up is really, really hard. Okay, so that's the manual. Hello, thank you for joining live. So let me know if that makes sense. And then let me know if you want that spreadsheet. I'll drop the link in the comments when I'm done here. So that's the manual tracking part. So there's no like ninja tricks there. It's just a way that, the simplest way I can think of to keep track of my leads that are coming through social media. Because you should see how many conversations I have going right now. And a lot of them are, depending on their situation, they're warming up very quickly to me within, a few messages or even over a few days. They're ready to take that next step. They're ready to talk to me about joining my network marketing business, or they're interested in more of my course to learn about how to create funnels for themselves. And then they go through my course and then they reach back out to me and they're like, okay, I went through your course. I'm ready to set up a funnel. What's the next thing I need to do? So if I don't keep track of all of that stuff, like it's crazy in my head. So that's how I do it. Super simple. Okay, so now I want to talk about how to, the whole point of following up with people is that people don't always make that decision the first try. Like, it's crazy amount of, it's like 80% of people, like, it takes several touches, right? And so the whole idea here is that a follow-up is that you stay in people's head, so that they're constantly thinking, but they can't forget about you because you're always there, right? So the manually messaging people is only one way to follow up. And I'm going to show you some cool tricks that I learned and actually using Facebook and to follow up with people in a way that's not directly following up with them. So let's say, follow-ups are crucial. Yeah. So let's say, you guys can tell me if this has ever happened to you. It happens to me all the time. Like, someone, you think they're a hot lead and, kind of messaging back and forth, and then all of a sudden it's like ghost town. They don't write back. You don't know what happened. Like, you don't want to keep messaging them and, be spammy or anything like that. You don't know. A lot of times we tell ourselves stories, but really what happened is life just got in the way. People are busy. What I have found to be true is that if you are engaging with them, you're liking their posts, you're commenting on their stuff, and they see your comment, and a lot of times, this has happened to me time and time again, they'll reach back out to me because I got in their mind again, and they're like, oh yeah, she sent me a message and I never got back to her. So they'll reach out to me and they'll say something like, hey Melissa, I've been really busy. I haven't forgotten about you. And so this is just like, when you can engage with them, it just keeps you on the forefront of their mind. So what I've learned some cool tricks that actually is going to enable you to stay on their mind, but also to optimize Facebook algorithms at the same time to increase your reach. So it looks like you're like always on social media, even though you most definitely are not on social media all the time, or you shouldn't be, okay? So again, so I'm gonna show you this ninja trick that I learned. It's super cool, saved me so much time. So again, think of this as another way of following up with people and staying in their heads, okay? Engaging on their posts on social media. So the people that keep coming back and commenting on your posts, or giving you the heart emoji or laughing, that those people, like, you see them, you start to recognize them, you start to know what they like. You probably see that already. I know that I have the same people commenting and stuff on my comments. So when you engage with your hottest leads, or your warm to hot leads, like it keeps you on their keeps you on their mind. It warms them up to you because they're going to keep thinking about you. They're going to keep clicking over to your profile to check you out. So that's one thing it does. But it also tells Facebook, it tells the algorithms of Facebook to keep pushing your content to them. So anytime you make a post, it's gonna tell, Facebook's gonna be like, that person wants to see her post, and it's gonna push your content in front of them. So it looks like you're always on social media, you're always in front of them. So it's like a ninja way to keep up with them. And the third thing it does is it tells Facebook that you're active, which means that your content gets more reach to everybody. Facebook likes it when you're active on Facebook. Surprise, surprise, okay? But that sounds like a lot. So if you're talking to, okay, cool, yeah, I'll definitely give you that spreadsheet. If you're talking to a lot of people and you're saying, okay, Melissa, you're telling me that I have to go to their page, scroll down, keep, engage with their posts, like their stuff, whatever. That sounds like a lot of work when I'm talking to 30-something people a day, right? So we're going to, I'm gonna show you this trick that's gonna allow us to shoot a few of those birds with one stone and save us a lot of time, okay? So let me share my screen again and show you guys this ninja trick. I'm probably gonna lose my, there we go. Hide that. Okay, so I'm gonna open up Facebook here. Get my notes so I can see. Okay, so watch this magic. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple of different things here. Sorry, you guys, it's distracting on my newsfeed. Can you guys see? Yes, you can see my screen. Okay, sorry, a little disorganized today. Okay, so we talked a couple of days ago about content. Go to my profile. So you guys see I updated my cover image, so I'm getting better. Okay, so we talked about posting content a couple of days ago, and like what kind of content you should be posting, and that really speaks to who you're trying to sell to, right? And so go back and watch that video if you don't know what I'm talking about, what kind of content to post. And I talked about trying to post 3 times a day if you can, but definitely quality over quantity. Oh my goodness, I'm going all over the place. Okay, back to here. Okay, so there's a couple of things that you can do to help the Facebook algorithm work for you before you post. Okay, so I'm going to tell you how my kind of flow goes, so I can kind of hit all these stones at one time, or all, whatever, the thing. Okay, so before you post, there's a few things that you need to do before you post that's going to tell Facebook that this is a good post. I'm going to push it out to more people. So before you go on and post something on Facebook, you need to go first to your newsfeed and engage with people. Okay, so this is when I go on very intentionally and I engage with my highest quality leads. Okay, I'll comment on their posts, I'll react. No liking. Facebook. If you go do the heart, I'll show you. Like if you come here and you hover over it, you want to choose like one of these guys. You don't want to choose the like. If you choose like the heart, the laugh, wow, sad, or angry, one of these, it's better for Facebook. So you would just hover over posts and either hit the heart or hit the one of these. Okay, so that tells Facebook likes that. The other thing is you comment. So this is my profile, obviously, but you could pretend that it's not. So like if this was a lead of mine, I would comment on stuff. And then I'll do that, and then I'll pop over to Messenger and I'll do a couple of messages. This is like you're just all over Facebook and you're doing maybe 5 minutes of interaction all over Facebook, and then you do your posts. And when you do it in that order, Facebook really likes it, and so they immediately push out your post to more people. Okay, so I'll engage with my leads. I'm going to show you how I do that in just a second. I'll engage with my leads. I'll love on them, keep me fresh on their minds, comment on their stuff, all that. Then I'll go ahead and do my post, and then when after I've posted, Then I'll go back over into my messenger. I'll continue doing my batching, you know, I'll talk to my leads or whatever for about 10 minutes. And then I'll pop back over to my post. So like, for example, I did this post this morning. This is kind of like a lifestyle post, right? We're selling a lifestyle. So I'm showing that this is where I'm going to be hanging out for the summer, right? So I put this post on. I went and I did some more of my messaging. About 10 minutes later, I come back to this post and I comment back on everybody who commented. So you can see I got some comments. I got a new one. So I come in here. Yeah, it's amazing or whatever. But you just want to make sure that you comment back. And the first 15 minutes are really critical because it tells the Facebook algorithms that this is a good post, right? And then after the first 15 minutes, then you just pop back in a few times a day, check on your post, make sure that you comment back to everybody who comments on your post. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, now let me see if there's any questions coming up yet. Okay, y'all guys, let me know your questions. Next, I want to show you my favorite ninja trick on Facebook that I've learned. Okay, so I told you that you want to engage with your leads, right? So if you come over to newsfeed, this is what you're going to see. Oh, look, there I am going live. Huh? This is what you're going to see if you just come to your newsfeed and you're like, oh gosh, there's all these groups that are coming up. There's lots of ads coming up. So it's like you could just sit here and scroll to try to find your leads, right? And that's like super inefficient. Or you could go to their profiles. That's super inefficient too. So what I learned is if you come over here to the left where it says explore and you go down, there's a button on here called friends list. You guys, do you know about friends list? Because this was like super ninja trick that I had never heard of. So you can see I have some lists here. This is where I am going to create lists of my leads. So you can see Clickfunnels prospects. I'm going to create a list of people who I think are going to, or they're leads that I'm going to try to funnel towards a funnel. Funnel towards a funnel. I'm going to funnel them towards joining me with Clickfunnels as an affiliate. So I think that they're ready in their business for a funnel. They've showed some interest in it. So I'm going to add them to that list, right? Same thing for my network marketing prospects. I'm not going to click on this because I don't want you to see my prospects, right? But then also my network marketing team. I want to love them and interact and engage in my network marketing team as well. So I created another list. And then the people who are my current affiliates, people who have purchased courses from me, or I've worked with them, I'm going to put them in a list as well. Now, what this does is it means that instead of coming over to your news feed and just scrolling, looking for things to interact with and engage with before you post your post, right, is that it means that you can be more efficient. So I'm going to click another link just so I can show you. So let's say here I am. I want to stay in the heads of my leads, and I'm going to get on here, Facebook, very intentionally, engage, comment, and then I'm going to go do my posts, do my messages, come back, so I have this little flow, right? So instead of going directly to my news feed, which is all plugged up with a bunch of crap that I don't need to look at right now, I don't need to get sucked into ads or anything like that, I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to click on this one because this is just people that I used to work with. So I'm going to click on this one. Let's just pretend these are my hot leads. So now it's going to pull up all of the recent posts from everybody on that list. So on this list, there's 42 people. And anything that they have recently put out, this is where I could come and engage on their posts. So instead of just randomly doing it, I'm doing it with intention. So let's see, John Hodges put something here, so I could say, oh, that's really cool. This isn't my leads list, but I could just be like, oh yeah, love, right? Love, so cute. And I don't overthink comments, you guys. So this is done intentionally, right? So if these were my hot leads, I'd be engaging with all these posts and making sure that I stay on their mind. Have y'all known that before? That's a super ninja trick. Okay, so now let's see what else. Sorry, looking at my lists. So yeah, that's what I'll do. Okay, so that's what I'll do so that I can go in and make sure that everybody on my friends list, let me go back and just, let's see, let me go back and show you that again. So depending on what I'm working on, I usually do this very methodically. So, if I'm really looking to build my network marketing team, for example, then I'm going to come over here and click my prospects, go and engage with their posts, make sure that, I'm always on their mind, right? And doing this is not, so you're killing a bunch of birds with one stone. You're telling Facebook you're active, that you're using their system, and then you're posting, you're following up, and you're following up with your hottest leads in a way that's not as direct as sending them a message. Does that make sense? So you guys definitely go into your friends and create these lists, and make sure that you use those wisely. So like if I'm messaging somebody on Facebook and all of a sudden I'm like, this person's becoming, they're moving down through my funnel. I can see them going a particular direction. So I'm going to go add them to this list. And I just do it all at the same time so that, I don't have to go catch up, right? So even if you don't go back in time, just start it from now going forward. As you're starting to bring all these people in through social media, start organizing your leads. And if someone, is rude to you or they tell you they're not interested, then you just go remove them and actually just delete them, okay? So that's one ninja trick I want to share with you. Another ninja trick is, you guys know that we're posting content on our page, right? And have you ever posted something in like you'll see like one post will get a ton of engagement, another post is like crickets, and you're trying to learn from it, but you definitely see that some posts do a lot better than others, right? So if you're in a hurry, or you don't have a ton of content to share, or you're just in one of those days where it's like, I just don't feel like doing this today, or you just want to literally start that post back up again. So I want to show you an example. So if you come to your profile and you find one that did really well or one that you liked, like I was showing you guys the other day, this post that I made, this post here, where I was appealing to the moms with the picture of the kids, but I was talking about this book, and I told people here, to let me know if they wanted a free copy to engage with this post. I got 34 comments on it, a lot of likes, a lot of engagement. So let's say that I wanted to come and use this post again. All I'd have to do is come in here and comment again. So, and it kind of recycles this post. So, and it'll start to show, so I'll come here, and I'm like, you got it, right? So this is gonna start pushing this post out again. So I'll just make sure that I reply to all of these. Right? I'm not gonna do it all right now, but what it's gonna do is it's gonna completely recycle this post. It's gonna start pushing this post back out into the news feed, much like if it was just recently released. People weren't even gonna know the difference. And so you can start to engage on this post all over again, which is really, really cool. It's a huge time saver, and it's gonna push it out to more people. Does that make sense? Let's see. Let me know if that makes sense. Never seen the friends list. So great. It was so great. It's like a game changer for me, because I cannot stand it when I'm wasting time. I feel like I'm wasting time. And this was an amazing way that I could like save a lot of time. So that will save you a ton of time. Okay. Yeah, so you can go back, and you can even, the other thing that, like, how you get the memories that pop up on Facebook? From a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever, like a really good way you can share that post, right? That's one option, but you don't even have to share it. Like you can literally go in, if it was a good post, and you just go in and comment on it again, and it'll send it back out to the world with that, and people will just think that it's a brand new post, like it's crazy. So that's another way that you can recycle posts from a year ago, you know, if it pops up. Okay, so those are genius ninja tricks. I'm telling you, if you think of social media as another way to follow up with people and to keep them like going in your funnel, you want to keep them in your funnel, bouncing around, stay on their minds until they're ready to take the next step. And when you have your profile set up correctly, they are going to work themselves through the funnel, and eventually they're going to be like, okay, I'm just so curious, or okay, now I'm ready. Okay, now she makes sense. Now I feel like I'm ready to take that next step. They pop over to your funnel, and now you show them exactly where to go, okay? Or they message you, they reach out to you. So get into a flow with this social media, get into a system, and what that looks like, you know, engage, comment, message people, post in that order. Like engage and comment, pop into a few messengers, post, set a timer if you need to. 5 or 10 minutes is all it takes. Don't overthink the comments, because you are using this strategically. You know, obviously if there's a post that's just really thoughtful or whatever, or sad, like take some time and reach out. But like for the most part, you're just trying to comment and engage on as many posts as you can from your leads. And just, it could be just as simple as saying, love it, so true, you're on fire, whatever. And if you see a post, like if you're at work, for example, and you're scrolling on your phone and you see a post that you really do want to spend some time engaging on, but you don't have the time right then, or it's not in your designated messaging time, what you can do is actually save that post, and it's just a button on your on the post itself. You can save it and then come back to it later when you actually have time, when you've got your spreadsheet out and you're ready to do your posting too. So yeah, it's totally cool ninja trick that I discovered. So I think, so we covered lists, we covered recycling posts, saved posts, tracking and follow-up. Yeah, so that's the whole system, you guys. That's the whole system. So remember that the 3 keys that you're going to be doing every day is growing your audience, growing your following, growing your community, filling your funnel full of your perfect leads, engaging on their posts, nurturing those leads, engaging in those 3 to 5 groups that we talked about yesterday, that your leads are going to come from. You're going to stay in there, and then making offers at the right time. Okay, so that's where you want to keep your track of your leads so that you can keep notes and know when the right time is to make that next step. Does that make sense? What are your questions? What are your questions on this whole week's process? I would love to know so I can answer them. Hopefully this was pretty helpful to you guys. So how I personally do it is, when I first get up in the morning, I try to get on, do some engaging, commenting. I'll do a post, and then I'll do my messaging. I really try to batch social media so that I can get on for the whole process. I spend about 20 minutes in the morning, and I'll check in on my posts a couple times during the day, usually when I take a bathroom break. Anytime I get up from my computer and I sit back down, that's when I'll just check in on my post real quick. If I go to lunch, or when I'm done for the day, I'll just quickly check back in on it. And then I'll repeat that in the afternoon or evening, so that I do the same thing. Engage with my leads, get my post ready to go, post my posts, and then follow up with my messaging. Again, another 20-ish minutes in the afternoon. So really, for the course of the whole day, I'm only spending about an hour in social media, but I'm growing my email list, I'm growing my Facebook group like crazy, and I'm growing my leads, right? Is there a better time of the day to post? Okay, great question. And actually, I'm gonna show you another trick. Let me share my screen again. Okay, so everybody, the short answer to your question is, not the answer you probably want to hear, is that it's going to depend on your audience, right? But so if you're targeting corporate moms, right, they're working during the day. So yours might be like in the afternoon, after they get home from work, or the evenings. If you're targeting, I know that word targeting is sounds harsh, but if you're targeting entrepreneurs, they're usually working during the day. So during the day is good. So it's going to depend on your audience. But what I can tell you is that you see on the bottom right-hand side of my screen right here, does it show? Oh, I think this thing is in the way. Let me hide this for a second. Let me see if you can see it. It doesn't show unless you maximize. Hopefully you can see it. Yeah, I think you can see it. In the very, okay, now it's up here. Oh, there we go. Okay, in the very bottom right-hand side, there's this, and that's the chat. That's the messenger. And it shows you right here, see that number 261? That shows you how many of my friends are online right now. So what I basically did is over the course of a few days, I just like randomly through the day, I would check that number and I would make note of it. So over a few days, I could clearly see when my audience is most active. And based on that, I will come over here and try to make my posts or do my live videos at the time of the day that this is above, like for me, I really like it to be above 350 to 500 minimum before I will do a post or do a live video. But so I have, I don't have as many, I have like what? Oh, wow. I have 1,600 friends. So if you had 5,000 friends, then your number might be different. Your number might be 1,000 or 750 or something that you would want to kind of try to target your post to that time. So that's kind of another ninja trick that you can kind of keep an eye on when your audience, your people are actually online. Does that make sense? What do you think is the best platform to use for social media? So, good question. So I really look at it like this. You have to be comfortable on that platform. You have to, your target audience has to be there. So, for me, I'm comfortable on Facebook and I'm comfortable on LinkedIn. I'm not comfortable on Instagram. And I don't think as much of my target audience is there because I work with a lot of moms and, Instagram, at least this is what I've heard, is that Instagram is like for the younger people. It makes me sound old. But you know what I mean? So you want to make sure that your target audience is there. I like Facebook. It's probably because I'm used to it. I'm comfortable on it. But I know a lot of people like Instagram, LinkedIn. Like it just all depends where your target audience is hanging out. So you might do some research, talk to some people who are your target audience and ask them what their favorite social media platform is, and do kind of a poll that way. Because if you do this, like it's not going to do any good if your target audience isn't there. So I know some people don't use Facebook, but a lot of my target audience does. So that's where I spend a lot of my energy. Does that make sense? Yeah, Snapchat, haven't even mastered that one. All I know how to do is take silly pictures of my kids. But some people use it, right? So it really comes down to, is your target market there? And are you comfortable with the platform enough to use it like this every day as a tool for your business? Does that make sense? Let me know. Okay, I don't see any more questions coming in, but you guys let me know in the comments if you got more questions. Again, if you're just tuning in today for the first one, make sure you go back and you watch the other three because they build on each other. So we talked about all of the stuff, like how to set up your profile, what kind of posts to comment, how to find the groups where your people are, and kind of the whole overall strategy. So definitely go back and set yourself up and then start doing this. Yesterday, we also talked about like what you need to be doing on a daily basis to make this work. So go back and watch the whole series. Make sure that you catch up on the series. I'm going to be pulling it down and actually using it in one of my paid offers. So I'm going to leave it up for another week or so just to make sure everybody has time to go and watch it. The other announcement is, okay, cool. You guys, if you want to get in on the course that I have on sale, which like really dives deep into branding, coming up with your unique offer to kind of set you apart from everyone else who sells something very similar, and how to move people along what I call the epiphany bridge, which is when the epiphany, at the moment that they have the epiphany that your product, your service, whatever you do in your business is the best vehicle for them to reach their goals. I really have a really good way of doing that I teach that works really well. You can dive deep into that course. It's going to be, the price is going to be going up next week. So definitely get in on it if you want to do to dive deep. It's going to make all of this funneling stuff a lot more smooth when you have those foundations set in. Okay, so I'll drop the link to that below. I'm also going to drop the link to the tracking spreadsheet. Make sure you go in, save a copy so that you can customize it and make it your own. And you can just take mine and use it as a template. So I'll drop that link in as well. And if you're watching, joining the replay, let me know you were here. And if you've got any further questions, next week on Monday, we're going to be talking about paid prospecting funnels, which is like amazeballs, right? You can actually get paid to go out and find qualified leads for your business. This was a huge game changer for my business. You know, I've been using these paid prospecting funnels for about 4 months now, and like the difference in my business is crazy because now I can afford to run more ads. Now I can afford to go out and pay for some of these tools. I can afford my own courses that I want to take. So it's a really cool way to also make sure that you're bringing in highly qualified leads. So if you're not in the place in your business where you're ready to pay for ads, but you know that that's like the next step, it's definitely a way that you can kind of make that transition. And at the same time, bringing in leads that have like raised their hand and said, I definitely want what you have. I've already pulled out my credit card once. I'll pull it out again and again and again. Okay, so that's going to come to you on, we'll be talking about that on Monday. Okay, so make sure that you guys tune in for that. So that's all for me this week. Checking out. I don't typically work much on Fridays, so I'll be seeing you here and there over the weekend, but I'll definitely be seeing you guys on Monday, okay? Have an amazing weekend. Get your social media funnels up and running. This is an amazing way that you can really boost your boost the bottom dollar in your business with very little effort of yours, okay? So that's all I have. You guys have an amazing day.